Well, good morning internets. Here we are. Have ourselves a start to another day. I guess you could say a day in progress. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, she's been a couple days since my last vlog. Been just relaxing, enjoying the nature, exploring the area a little bit. Found a couple of interesting sites in the area. One of them is a historic, they call them historic graves, where there was a farm or a homestead here. And there was a husband, a wife, and a child. And the wife and child became sick and passed away. And the husband buried them on the hill overlooking the lake and their farm. Of course, the husband is not buried next to them, which is kind of odd, but maybe there was a change in regulations, or maybe he moved somewhere else after 1911 kind of a thing, and they were probably forgotten about until the campground moved in around the area, and some hiker probably stumbled across them, right? I'll put some pictures here of what I found, and maybe a short video clip if I can get it transferred over without much fuss. The old truck has been exploring some back roads, so when that happens, the truck gets really dirty. Not so much muddy dirty, but a road grime kind of dirty. I know it's not dirty, as in, dirty by most people's standards, but usually I try to keep the truck a little cleaner than that, especially, when I give it back kind of a thing. I want to make sure it's clean when I return it back from the camping trip, just so it looks fairly presentable. Well, this morning I had a call to relocate a family member's trailer. They were in one stall for a week, and they wanted to stay longer, so therefore we had to move it to another stall for a few more days. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way it works sometimes. If you're at a busier lake and you change your mind and you want to stay, you sometimes have to relocate to a new stall in order to extend your stay, because, the demand of the area, sometimes the stall you were in is already pre-rented out for that specific time period, and without causing too much chaos or confusion, it's just easier to move to another spot than it is to bump the next people to another spot or out altogether. Been showering in the normal showers in the bathroom, just like everyone else, and for 99% of everyone else that showers in those showers, they are probably perfectly fine. They're a 36 by 36 or maybe a 40 by 40 stall, and for most people they would do quite fine. But for me, my body type, I'm a little bit bigger. I've always been a little bit more blockier, and then of course the last 5 years I've put on a little more than I used to be. So when I get in those little stalls, it's kind of like being in a phone booth or a suitcase. It's a bit narrow, especially for a shower, so the last couple of days when I've showered, it's been a bit of a struggle. So the last few times I've showered, it's been a bit of a struggle, to the point where I kind of thought about setting up my outside shower here and showering in the back of my trailer, but my luck, the wind would catch the tarp, and yeah, I would be exposed to the world, and that's the last thing a person needs, is, you know, to be exposed to the world, especially when there's sensitive people running around. But on the positive side, I did find the family showers, which are a stall that is like twice as big, and it just works perfect. You know, a guy can get in there and have room to move, room to wiggle, room to enjoy the water without feeling cramped in a tiny little phone booth or suitcase. And while you're in there, you know, you can grab a shave, you know, get cleaned up for the day, things like that, and just do a one-stop shop rather than tie up the shower and a sink while people are trying to wash their hands after using the washroom. Well, the trails are a little bit narrow to be dragging the trailer up and down, especially some of the far back ones. They may not have got around yet to trimming them. When you consider how bad or how rough the beginning of the season was, where there was closures and things being all this other stuff going on, you know, just grateful to be able to have the opportunity to camp, because it was looking like that wasn't going to happen this year or at all, or maybe later. Here in Alberta, they have cancelled a lot of the outdoor venues that were to happen, like the Colonial Days in Lloydminster and the what is it, Klondike Days or Capital X or whatever it's called in Edmonton there, K Days. They cancelled that way back, and the music concerts and venues are all cancelled, and even the ones that were in August are cancelled, even though they have since relaxed the restrictions and opened up things. So all those mom and pop concession type of stands this year aren't going to have the revenue that they would have normally had if the fairs and the music venues and stuff would have went forward. So there's going to be some tight budgets this year and next year until things can pick back up. In fact, there are 2 or 3 businesses in Lloydminster that will not be reopening after all this nonsense is over and done with, because, well, whether it's financial problems on the owner part, or the franchise finally, this was the last straw and they pulled the plug, or what it was, but it's a little bit sad that all this had to go on, all this had to happen, and all this affects, you know, like I said there before, if it wasn't bad enough because of the oil crashing, then you have all this closure stuff that just put the final nail in the coffin, per se, of the economy. Any progress or recovery that we did make is now lost, and any potential investment by investors will be second-guessed and postponed until such a time as things recover more again from what they were before the you know, pandemic type of crash. So a lot of families that were hanging on have now finished losing everything or given up or so. But at the same time, you know, before the oil crash, I know I've said this before and I know people don't like to hear me say it, before the oil crash we had lost our humanity, and we were hating on those that didn't make big oil money. You know, a lot of people who couldn't be in the patch for whatever reasons were looked down upon because they were just McDonald's workers or just retail workers, or they're the ones that cleaned the toilets. And the big oil money, $35 an hour, you know, people, $45 an hour people, you know, viewed the others as like slaves. And now that things have gotten tight, some of those, you know, people that had their noses up, thinking they were better than the rest of us, have learned that we are all the same, and maybe they shouldn't have looked down on those that were only making $12 an hour. Unfortunately, sometimes we forget the simple things. We forget the what we have at hand in pursuit of something that, you know, is just a fairy tale or a temporary thing. And it takes something like this, a life-shaking event, whatever it may be, an illness, a divorce, loss of a job or a career, to bring people back around to realize that maybe they did actually have it good, and maybe they did have everything they ever needed without having to, you know, go the route they did. But pretty much, guys, probably gonna make some dinner here, cool down in the old AC of the trailer, and get on with the rest of the day. So we will catch y'all later. Well, hello internets, here we are. A little bit of a evening updates. Well, the day was a good day. It was a hot day by my standards, like 23, 24 degrees Celsius, which is right about the point where I start getting uncomfortable. I really like the air conditioner. You know, not in it all day, of course, but in it to cool down and back out, and a few things like that. Went up to the clubhouse and had a burger and fries for supper. Actually, it was dinner, kind of a later dinner, rather than because of a move in the morning. Breakfast was delayed. So if we would have ate breakfast, it would have been around noon anyways. So I decided to go up and have a burger, kind of a late breakfast slash dinner. And I'm used to concession food being small patties and such. Well, these patties were fairly large, so I ordered me a double burger thinking they were the normal size patties, and yeah, I am full. So I didn't make any supper tonight. Might have a snack or a sandwich later, but hey, you know, it is what it is. The first time I've ordered concession food from here, and I was surprised on the portion size. Kind of had a relaxing evening here. The heat is starting to die down, and decided to light me a fire. Kind of got the fire going here, trying to get a bed of coals. Maybe I'll cook me a smoky on the coals once things burn down, or maybe I'll just enjoy the fire for the night. This was my last full day here at the campsite. Tomorrow morning I'm going to get up, have me a coffee. Probably have something light, like maybe cereal, or maybe I'll have a sandwich or something. And then I basically pull out, and that's about my camping adventure for the day. It's kind of bittersweet. You know, your camping trip is over for the year, but at the same time, you had an adventure. We'll have to see what happens budget-wise come the rest of July here. But to see what happens budget-wise in a month or so, maybe I'll go to Drumheller for a weekend or a week or something, just to say that, you know, year 4 I was there, but it had kind of became a tradition until this year, and that tradition has so far has been broken. But you know, that's the way she rolls, right? Having the opportunity to see the family and visit with the next generation of people is well worth the disappointment, if you want to say, of not going back to Drumheller. For me, I like Drumheller because it's just my type of place. It's drier, less humid, feels better. Here is nice, you know, the family's here. The family reunion was here, and rather than going back home for after only 3 days of being here, decided to stay another week. So, hey, you know, I guess it is what it is. But pretty much, guys, gonna enjoy the old evening, have me a fire. Unless something important comes along, well, it'll be it till it's dark. So we will catch you all in. Well, we come to the end of another day. It was a good day, a kind of a bit of a relaxing day. Out here, my last full day before I got to head back to so-called uncivilization. There's a little bit of burning left in the fire here. However, we got some dark clouds rolling in, so might end up with a bit of a shower in another half hour, 45 minutes. So just kind of picking things up a bit. Getting things put away or pre-put away for the pull-out tomorrow. You know, going to fold up the chairs and get them close to the trailer just in case it storms, and put away a couple of things, and well, it'll all be good. That's one thing I like about camping in a RV versus a tent. You know, you're not as at the mercy of the weather as what you are if you're in the tent. You know, something that is a super wet day would rain you out of most tents, especially on heavy and high winds. And hot days, the tent gets to be stuffy and uncomfortable, and you know, you flip on the AC here in the trailer and it's warm and dry and cool and dry when you need her to be. And yeah, I know there are simpler methods out there, like camping under the back of a van, or you know, smaller trailers, like those little pod type trailers where you can crawl into, and it's basically a box on wheels, and then you can have a smaller vehicle. But you know, you make do with what you have rather than what you think may or may not be what you need at this time in your life. But probably gonna end her all here and get a few things buttoned down for the night. See how she goes for the evening, and well, tomorrow's a bit of a busy day. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.